Bonjour YouTube, welcome back to our channel. Today we're in
Château de Malmaison. It's the famous chateau of Joséphine,
the first wife of Napoleon Bonaparte.
Yeah.
So,
On y va.
on y va. So just keep in mind that when you arrive here, you normally are supposed to come by train and then take a bus. But the buses are very unreliable. We attempted twice already, and both of the times the buses just don't arrive on time. So either you come here by train and then you walk from the train station, which is what we're doing, or you take a cab, or if you're lucky the bus will take you there. Sinan is not happy about it, very angry actually. He's just walking, not talking. So this chateau is famous for the fact that it was... Oh, look at that! That of course was the bee emblem, which was the emblem of Napoleon. It was under him where the bee was used all the time. That makes sense because this chateau was a favorite getaway place for him and for Joséphine, his wife, first wife. So when you come here, if you get guided tour, you get a guide. It's in French, but maybe they have the English one, I don't know. But when you get the guide, they tell you the story. They take you on a tour through the whole chateau. Now the chateau, of course, was basically purchased by Joséphine, the first wife of Napoleon. She lived here until her death. She was very passionate about flowers because she was, she comes from Martinique. And she absolutely loved the flowers. She wanted to become a flower. Sometimes she would wear a dress that would be made out of flowers that would be brought to her directly from Paris, and she would put it on, and of course by the end of the evening she would have to take it off, obviously, but it was made out of actual flowers. So she lived here. She lived here with her children from her first marriage. So the tour takes you through each room and they tell you the story about the history, about her life here, how she was really preoccupied with money, especially after the divorce. She had to count everything that was being spent, and when she passed away here, she basically left a lot of debt, a lot of facture, a lot of receipts that haven't been paid. And of course her children are the ones who inherited that, and the chateau, as a result, it was actually left alone for 10 years. No one touched it. So it was after her death. No one touched it, nothing was being done to it, and then it was sold off. It started going from one place to another, one person to the other, and only by the time Napoleon III came to power, because of his love and connection to Joséphine, he actually bought this chateau back. Yeah. And it stayed under his rule, under his... One of the first things that was actually restored was her bedroom, and he basically did the most that he could while he was in power. And as you know, Napoleon III didn't really finish well his reign in France, so the chateau went back into ownership, private ownership, only until 1904, when the government bought it back. The state bought back the chateau and made it a museum. A lot of furniture is actually not from here. The furniture is either from Tuileries Palace, that is not there anymore, or I think Saint-Cloud as well. And I don't know why Sinan has gone somewhere else. Sinan, why are you there?
As Anton mentioned, Joséphine had 2 kids from her first marriage. However, she became infertile and she couldn't bear Napoleon a son. Hence why Napoleon divorced her. However, she kept the title of Empress. She was enjoying this chateau so much because of the, of course, greenery. There's a garden. She was in love with the flowers, and you can see flower motifs in chateau.
This is one of the examples of the garden, what was done. This is they call it the English River, the fake English River, and basically this thing now is empty. And even during her time, during the time when Joséphine was alive and living here, sometimes the water just wouldn't be here because this is not a real river. But whenever there was water, it looked absolutely beautiful and magical. She used to take walks here, or she used to go by horse as well. The territory was much bigger before than it is right now. The chateau has lost a lot of its domain. So we just came across something absolutely amazing. The guide, she told us today that when Josephine was still here, she liked to collect, to have or to house different exotic animals, and she brought the black swans. We found them, they have them here, come. I haven't seen black swans in like 20 plus years. The last time I saw them was when I was a child, a small child. I am so excited, they're so beautiful. I love them so much. Oh, they're gorgeous, they're so beautiful. So I just learned, first of all, this made my visit, this just literally made my day. This made my day. But I just learned that apparently it was thanks to Josephine that in 1803 it was the first successful acclimatization of the swans, the black swans from Australia. It's amazing, and they're so beautiful. I am so happy that I've seen them. I just can't express my happiness. It's just so amazing because they're so beautiful, and it reminds me of my childhood. And oh, they're beautiful. They're just beautiful. And also, don't feed them because they eat something else.
Yeah.
So they say, please don't feed. Don't give them food because you never know what people can give. And I think that bread is not good for birds anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, I'm so excited.
Bitching my department.
Yeah.
Our visit was a guided tour. We started our visit with 7 people. Literally 15 minutes later, a family of 6 came in because I counted all of them. Because they literally stay with us for 30-40 minutes. If you would like to have a guided tour, you have to pay. I mean, if you are not paying, at least have some respect for other people. If you don't have for yourself, just okay, you can listen for some time, but come on, you cannot listen the whole tour with someone else who paid for this visit, unlike you. So, I mean, I was so shocked to see a family, literally 2 kids, 2 grandparents and a couple, total of 6. They literally listened to a whole story while other people had to pay for that. I would never do that. I would be like, okay, these people paid for this tour. I would be like, okay, let's come to this room later on once these ones are gone to other room. I mean, it's just, they were following. In the beginning, I was like, maybe they are just staying here for a few minutes. And then, I mean, when we were moved to another room, they started following us. I mean, they stayed with us for 40 minutes at least. I mean, you cannot just do that.
Even the guide feels uncomfortable, like 'cause she kept on looking at them, you know, and they were literally following us. Like they were going through several rooms. They even went to a different floor with us.
Yeah.
It's like, sweetheart, at least have some shame.
And
you know?
at some point, the grannies, they just went ahead and we were behind.
Yeah.
It was just, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot be so cheap. Come
And
on.
they didn't, and they didn't pay for it for sure because we were there way before them. We started the tour,
Yes.
and the tour guide, she counted how many we were. She was
Yes.
like, we had 7 people. We had 7. So the tour was for 7, but it's okay. I mean, it's fine, whatever. Some people are just like that, but I mean, I think it's a really cheap thing to do.
What I like the most about this place is definitely the Emperor's room. My favorite parts in chateaus are always vases. My favorite one is in Fontainebleau, but there are some in this chateau as well, and they were stunning. I love them so much. Other than that, I mean, it's a part of French history, and if you are into French history, you should definitely come and visit this place. In Ile-de-France, this is one of the chateaus you should definitely visit.
I love the library. The library for me was just, it's like an office, it's a bureau of Napoleon, but it also has a huge library as well. I mean, that place is like, you just want to stay there forever. And the beautiful thing about it is that because this place was a residence of Napoleon and Joséphine, they actually lived here, right? There was comfort in a way. The bureau, the office, had a secret staircase. At night, when Napoleon would want to calm down, maybe in pajamas or whatever, you know, he didn't want to wake anyone up. Or if he worked really late, he could be sitting in like normal clothes, whatever, no, you know, no protocol, no official, nothing like that. And then he would just go with that secret staircase to his bedroom. It's a very important, historically speaking, it's a very important chateau to visit. They have a painting of David. And that painting is the original one because he created several copies. Different copies have different colorings on the horse, for instance, or the clothing that Napoleon is wearing. So it's actually quite amazing that they have it here. So now we've finished the visit,
Yeah.
and we're gonna go back, and we hope you enjoyed this episode. So
If you would like to see more of this content, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and if you would like, subscribe.
if you enjoy this content, of course.
Of course.
And yeah, thank you so much
Until-
for joining us.
Until next week.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.